Welcome to Freedom Forest, guys, the 3-acre edible oasis that we're creating here in the south of England, where we like to try lots of new things and push the boundaries with what we can grow using permaculture and no-dig methods. Absolutely no chemicals, weed killers or synthetic fertilisers, just what nature provides. Hi folks, and welcome back for this month's vlog. October is a really busy month for harvesting, tidying and planting still, and we have packed heaps into this month's video. So grab yourself a cuppa and join us for a month of Freedom Forest life. We began the month harvesting the last of our main crop potatoes. We grow Sapo Mira as they are blight resistant and grow into lovely big potatoes, which are great for jackets over winter. On the 3rd of October, I planted just over 100 cloves of French garlic into our no-dig beds. And planting garlic out early is another one of the methods that I like to follow every year. Now, you can get away with planting French garlic right through until March. Now, I've never done this, but that is certainly what I've read. I favour getting the garlic in the ground as early as possible whilst the soil is still warm, and then it normally gets away and gets growing and gets nice little green sprouts on it before winter really sets in, and I think that that gives it a really good head start. We're trialling growing green mustard as a cover crop and companion plant with our garlic this year to help improve the soil and hopefully result in more resilient plants. It may also help to repel the allium leaf miner too. Today we are making the most of a reasonably sunny October day, and we are going to harvest our outdoor grown sweet potatoes. Okay, so we've cleared away all the sweet potato vines, and I have to say it is not looking good for our sweet potato harvest again this year. There are dig holes around nearly all of the main stems of the plants where the rats have been in again. But we're going to go through and see if we can harvest any scraps and get ourselves a few meals of beautiful sweet potatoes anyway. But this is the reason why we grow such a wide variety of crops, because every year in the garden is different, and every year you never know what is going to do well or what is not, or what is going to be eaten by wildlife that is in your area. And on the plus side, we had some extra plants from our trombone courgettes, which we mainly grow in the polytunnels. So we decided to plant them out into this space that we had empty here, and we are going to get a great additional harvest of these beautiful plants that we call snakes, and they cure off to be bright orange on the inside, much like pumpkin. So whilst we might not have as many sweet potatoes, by growing a diversity of crops, we always have enough to see us through the winter. And we have still got lots of other beautiful crops that I will show you later in the video as well. Okay, so here is this year's sweet potato harvest, and it is probably only about a tenth of what we would have liked to have gotten from this area, but considering the hassles that we've had from rats the last couple of years, I am pretty stoked that we have got any harvest at all. So I'm still really happy with this harvest, and we have got a good few sweet potatoes that we will get to enjoy for our efforts. After harvesting, much like pumpkins and winter squash, our sweet potatoes spend a couple of weeks in the warmth and light of the polytunnel to cure and sweeten off before they're ready to store in sacks or crates for the winter. One of the beautiful crops that has done really well for us this year, much to our surprise, is watermelons. And it's actually not been a great year for sunlight hours and heat overall. And our normal melons that we grow in this polytunnel, so cantaloupe melon kind of style melons that we grow up on vines, didn't do very well at all this year. But the watermelons have pulled through, and we are still harvesting beautiful watermelons in October. And just earlier on today, I spotted this beautiful big melon hiding under our Cape gooseberries when I was grabbing a few fruits in here. So we're going to harvest this one now, and we will enjoy this over the next few days. So I just wanted to jump in here and let you guys know about another project which Dan has been working on. He has got back into making music, and his style is medicine music with a reggae twist. And we would massively appreciate your guys' support on his new YouTube channel. So I'm going to drop the details in the description of this video and in the comments. And once you finish watching this video, hop over there and have a listen to his new music videos. And if you like what you hear, subscribe, drop him a comment and like the videos, and we will see you over there too. And there's something growing in the polytunnel which I've been wanting to share with you guys because it is pretty exciting. And hiding in here, if I can get some of these ginormous leaves out of the way, we have got the biggest trombone courgette growing that I have ever seen. And look at the size of that, it is massive. Can you just even imagine the amount of food that is on that one fruit? And if you want to know more about this amazing crop, trombone courgettes, then check out the video that I will link in here. The harvests just keep coming this month. It has been a great year for apples, and we harvested the last of the apples from our food forest from this young Braeburn tree. This variety is supposed to be a good one to store, so we wrap the apples up in newspaper and have them in our storage shed. It's the first proper crop we've had of this variety, so it will be interesting to see how long they stay good for. In our main growing area, some of the plants were needing a good tidy up. Taking off the old and unnecessary leaves helps to make the plants less attractive to slugs, we find. It also allows better airflow and much needed sunlight for growth at this time of year. One of the things that fascinates me about courgettes is how much water gets stored in their stems. Nature is so clever, it still blows me away so much. And I do not know what has happened to this yacon this year, but it just has not stopped growing. It is absolutely huge. And it is still growing. You can see this is all lovely, fresh, young growth on these leaves. And I'm just wondering how much bigger these plants are going to get. It feels like they're kind of trying to take over. But hopefully that means we're going to have a really good harvest. And I think we're going to have more than enough yacon. Okay folks, I know you've heard us say this before, but I think this really could be the biggest watermelon that we've ever grown. It has just kept on growing and its vine has only just fully died back. So we're going to grab this one out of the tunnel today, go and give it away and see what we've got. Woohoo! That is 20 pounds by the looks. That is a whopper of a watermelon. And we are going to enjoy tucking into this in a bit. Around the middle of the month, it was time to clear down this polytunnel ready for all the winter plantings. I like to chop everything up quite well as I'm clearing, as all of this greenery will be composted, and it helps to speed up the composting process if it's small. I find it's easier to do it now, even though it makes clearing a little bit slower. I compost green waste and actual food waste separately. These cucumbers will be chopped up and put into our tumbling composter, which I absolutely love. And it means that food scraps aren't in our main compost bay, which can further attract rats. I talk more about this in another video, so if you'd like to hear more about how we use our tumbling composter, there is another video link in the description and also a pinned comment too. One big thing I've learnt this year about composting is that it is best to fill the whole bay in one go if possible, rather than adding a little bit at a time. Our compost just wasn't getting enough heat to break down nice and quickly. And we also need the heat, ideally, to kill off any seeds that get into the compost too. And this is all my winter salads and greens and onions and herbs that are getting ready to go into the tunnel. And the growth has definitely been a bit slower this year. I sowed actually a day before I did last year, and I remember by this time I was getting desperate to get the seedlings into the tunnel because everything was so big. And there are a few things that have done really well, like this Grenoble red lettuce. That is definitely ready to go in, and these other lettuces are just about catching up. Oh, and all the mustards, they always grow really fast. But otherwise the growth has been really slow this year, but that's kind of a good thing because the polytunnel is only just getting ready, so it is all good. Good morning. So it is day 2 of clearing my polytunnel. I spent about 3 hours in here yesterday to get it to this stage, and it has been a bit of a slow start this morning because we've had really thick fog which has made it feel really cold. But hopefully I'm going to get enough time in here today to finish clearing what I need to, at least from this middle section, and getting it prepped, ready to put the compost down for the next plantings of all of our winter salads, which we have got almost ready in our other polytunnel, and they would definitely need to be going in the ground within the next week at the most. So yeah, I need to get on with this now. It is a bit of a shame because we've got beautiful marigolds still, which are looking absolutely lovely, and some of these pepper plants which are still fruiting will need to come out to create the space, and so I can get the next layer of compost down easily. I'm trying to just be really brave and get on with it, but I always find it really hard taking out plants that are still producing or looking beautiful. But yeah, I'm just going to get on with it today. Okay, so that is everything out of the tunnel that is going to be cleared for now. Now it is time to move on to the bed prep. so happy to finally be on my favourite part of this job. I absolutely love spreading compost. It is my favourite thing about no-dig beds. I just find it so super relaxing. I have been working all day just longing to get to this point, so I'm super stoked to have all these beds very nearly done and ready for planting. Our bonus harvest of trombone courgettes hadn't seemed to have ripened anymore in the last week or so, so we decided it was time to harvest them and bring them into the polytunnel to hopefully finish ripening and curing off there. Usually around mid-October, we begin collecting sweet chestnuts that fall from the beautiful trees that surround our land. They're later than normal this year and still small, so we are hoping that the big ones are still yet to fall, as they provide a very nutritious and filling harvest for the winter months. Okay, so that is all of this polytunnel planted up with winter greens and vegetables, and hopefully lots of things that will see us right through the depths of winter, and some brassicas which will hopefully fill the hungry gap as well around February to May time. It has been a massive day. I'm absolutely exhausted, but I am so happy to have this all in the ground. It's a really big milestone when I finally get the polytunnel planted up for winter, and it's really the last important time-framed job that I have to do at this end of the year, so it is always a big relief. And then there will be one more thing to go into this tunnel at a later date, and that will be broad beans, which I'm going to dot through here in any gaps that we've got once I've done a winter sowing of those. And then right down the end, when the trombone courgettes have finished, I'll clear that out, and I've saved over a few plants, so hopefully if they are still holding on in their pots, I will just fill up down the end of the tunnel as well. And this should be absolutely amazing for us for winter. Really looking forward to getting into our winter salads. It is one of our favourite things. So I think I'm going to leave this video here today, guys. I have filmed so much this month. There has been so much going on. So I really hope you have enjoyed spending time with us at Freedom Forest and seeing how October has looked for us. If you have, make sure that you click the thumbs up button just below the video. Drop us any comments or questions. As always, we love hearing from you guys. Make sure that you are subscribed to Freedom Forest Life, and we will catch you here again soon. Thank you so much for watching, especially if you have stayed right to the end, and an extra big shout out to all of our Patreons. Thank you so much, guys. Peace and plants.